Hello and welcome to FDTV. We are back again with another episode of our daily football show. I'm your host Ali, joined with my fellow co-host Jawad. Jawad, what is happening, man?
What a wonderful time to be a fan of football it is right now. Probably going through one of the best transfer windows ever. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get into this.
So the biggest news of the day, the Big Daddy is back in town. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Avieros, the legendary number 7, the greatest player the world has ever seen, is heading back to his roots, the club where it all started for him, where he became the Ballon d'Or winner in 2008 and took United to the new heights in the world of football. He is going back to United after a rather interesting transfer saga. Initially, what is your reaction to the transfer, and does he fit in the plans of Manchester United's dominance in the Premier League for the coming year? And taking the fan hat off, what is the realistic expectations from Ronaldo?
I am shocked. Seriously, I'm shocked. At one point, it was all done that he was going to go to Manchester City. And I know that you were disappointed in that. And a lot of my Manchester United mates were disappointed. It's something that's been run to the ground that Ronaldo was going to be
True.
leaving. I think we have been talking about this topic, where would he move to, for over a couple of months now. But it's finally happened. He's going back to his old club. And agent Bruno Fernandes is apparently the one responsible for bringing him back. I know there's a little bit more to it. A lot more to do it with Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson, I think, had a huge part to play in this whole transfer saga. But this is what you love to see. This is what you love to see. When it was coming out, the reports were that City is going for Ronaldo and they're going to be looking to get him into the team. All the alumni of Manchester United, again, get the pun, they united to bring him back and essentially just steal it under the nose of Manchester City. And if you look at it, there are some posts of Ronaldo having the wide arms open pose at the actual airport in Manchester, welcoming everyone to Manchester. Reminds me of when actually Tevez was stolen under the noses of Manchester United, and when he went over there and they had the same poster. So taking shots there, an exciting time to be a football fan. Two of the greatest players to ever grace the green earth have actually moved this summer. So a lot going on in my mind. Before we get into the analytics, how he fits into it, what are your immediate reactions?
United obviously wanted a number 9, a striker who can play in a number of different roles in the front three, because Cavani is not getting any younger and he is likely to miss a lot of games due to COVID restrictions due to his international duty. Now, I was expecting somebody like Danny Ings or Arkadiusz Milik, but out of nowhere we got the greatest player available in the transfer market, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's only going to add value to the team, and I think when Pep Guardiola calls you, when Ancelotti calls you, it does hold a certain weight when it comes to value of a manager. But when Sir Alex Ferguson calls you, you can't say no to him. He is the guy who made Cristiano Ronaldo relevant. He is the mentor of the greatest footballer of all time. And I'm pretty sure when he heard that he's considering the offer of Man City, Alex Ferguson rang him, Rio Ferdinand rang him, Patrice Evra did the same, and United bought him back home. This is the kind of player who can change the entire atmosphere of a club. His winning mentality, he will be shouting at players even without the armband. He is a leader. He will be scoring goals. Now at Juventus, he did not have the best team in the world. He did not have the tools to support him. And that is exactly my next question to you. Without tools, without the midfielders, without the attacking wingers at Juventus, he got 100 goals for the club in the 3 years that he stayed there. Now, with all the tools like Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Rafael Varane, what do you expect from Ronaldo?
I expect a lot. I expect at least 20 plus goals from Ronaldo this season. But that's not to praise Manchester United. That's just what Ronaldo does. Now, the factors on top of it are that you've got Bruno Fernandes actually providing the assist. Now, he was feeding all season long last season to Edinson Cavani, and Cavani in itself is a great striker. But Cavani and Ronaldo is different levels to it. And if Cavani was able to pounce onto it and actually take the goals and score, I think same or even better could be in store for Cristiano Ronaldo in this case. Now,
True.
there is one weakness that I want to highlight, which I think most of you Manchester United fans have been crying out for, which they could still address, is someone who's a dynamic midfielder, someone in the defensive duties of it. So we can have Pogba in a little bit more advanced role, because the players that you've got right now, they're not up to par with the rest of the squad specifically right now, because you brought in world-class centre backs, and you've got Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane. Both of them really impressed last season. And similarly, when we move on to the midfield, we've got great midfielders in Pogba and Fernandes, but there's one thing missing, and that's the dynamic midfielder who's going to be able to actually give the team some stability. Now up front, obviously we've got Ronaldo. He's no spring chicken. He's not going to be tracking back. His game has modified itself to be a box predator. He's going to be in the box striker. He's going to be the 9-yard poacher. You can have it. And you've got wingers like Sancho. You've got outfield players, specifically like Bruno Fernandes, who are going to be able to chip the balls in, pass them along to Ronaldo's feet or head. Either way, wherever he gets it, he's going to score. The only weakness I see, and that's the only reason I feel like they might be a little bit short of challenging for the title, is right now their midfield problem with not having someone dynamic, not having someone who's going to be performing the defensive midfield role.
Thank you so much for watching another video of FDTV.
It's been great to have you joining us. Again, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Every single subscription helps.
It motivates to put out more football content on a daily basis. Until then, see you next time. FDTV out.